Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Gabe, and this is Gabe Loves Makeup, and I hope everybody is having a really super awesome day today, regardless of what time of day it may be. I hope that you're having a really awesome one. Understand, I'm in my little 18th century garb. We're actually having a my little ruffles and everything. We're actually having a little bit of a celebration today. This is my 1 year anniversary on YouTube, and I thought we would do a little dress up, a little something fun with the new Pat MCgrath Bridgerton collab. So I thought we would have a little fun with it. Since we're kind of reviewing it and everything, I thought we would do a little bit of this. We may even talk a little bit about 18th century makeup. Then stick around and let's do it together. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you for being so wonderful and being so supportive and so loving and so caring and being one of the best communities that anybody can ask for. I am so glad and so blessed to have you guys in my life. I don't know what I would do without you. You guys have really brightened my day. You know, your comments brighten my day. You know, Instagram brightens my day. I mean, it's a year on Instagram too, since I've been on this channel. And now we are at like 156 or 154 videos, I think. So I've got a lot of videos out there. So, you know, it's been a little bit of a journey. If you've ever looked back at some of my older ones to now, it's definitely been a journey. But I'm so glad that you guys have come along for the ride and you're enjoying it with me. And, I have to just say it's been a rough year. I mean, it's not been easy. It's being a young YouTuber, it's very challenging. And it's a little scary. So anyway, just to throw that out there, I just wanted to say thank you so much. And I'm really excited that this is my first year and I've been able to make it, and I've made it a year because I told myself if I can make this a year and if I can do this and stay dedicated to it, which is what I was afraid I wouldn't be able to do, but I have been. And without your support, without your love, and without you guys giving me encouragement and doing what I do, I don't think I would be able to do it. So with that said, thank you so much. And I love you guys so much with all my heart, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. So anyway, now that we've got the anniversary part out of the way and everything, and we're done with that, let's get into this beautiful Pat MCgrath palette. So I'm going to roll up my 18th century sleeves because they'll get definitely a lot of makeup on them if I don't. So just to give you guys just a really quick rundown, whatever, I pulled out the Pan Stick makeup tonight. We pulled out that. I actually even pulled out my Cream Puff by Max Factor, and actually my actual pancake too. So I have that all on my skin. It just always makes my skin look so pretty. Every time I use Pan Stick and stuff, I just really love using it. So we put that all over. I've done some Tightline and some mascara and all that kind of stuff. I've done a little bit of that. I've done we're not doing any bronzer today because of the skin being a little bit more on the fair side with this. I wanted to keep it kind of fair. I just want to keep it glowy and fresh and pretty. So anyway, we might be talking a little bit about some history. I've got a little bit with like the Regency area that Bridgerton is in. I may be a little tongue-tied with it because I'm doing makeup at the same time, so we'll just have to see. But first of all, let's talk about this beautiful Pat MCgrath palette. Look how beautiful she is. How pretty is this packaging? That is just stunning, and it looks so much prettier in person than it does actually when you see it like in pictures and stuff. It looks really beautiful. Look at this, how gorgeous that is. Look at that embossing. Look with the horse there, and then you have the Pat MCgrath Labs with the Bridgerton collab there, the purple flowers, the Pat MCgrath logo. Oh my God, it's just so stunning. This is what it looks like. Wow, look how beautiful that is. How pretty are those shadows? This over here, oh my God, of course, this one is the star of the show, but these are just stunning. Such beautiful colors. Iconic and Janine, Art of Swoon, Regency Blue, Love Match, Duchess, Divinity, and Plum Regalia. Now just look at the embossing on that. How beautiful is that? Because we're going to mess it up when we start using it. So I hate to watch it. It's so pretty. It's really gorgeous. So let me swatch it real quick for you just so you guys can see it. Color right there. That is gorgeous. That is so pretty. Wow. What a beautiful color story. Look how beautiful those are, guys. How pretty. Jeez, those are nice. Wow, that is so pretty. We're going to start with my Referent 101, and we're going to dip into the middle top shade. And I will have the shades up here where you guys can see them if you want to see them. But it's that really pretty light pink color, the one that had a little bit of a glow. And we're going to go in here and we're just going to go ahead and get started on it. Wow. How beautiful is that? Of course, you know, this is going to be, you guys know this is going to be a biased review. I'm just going to tell you, there's not really even a review because the Pat McGrath shadows really don't need a review. They're always so beautiful. But anyway, just to give you guys a little bit about the Regency era, if you didn't know anything about it, the Bridgerton series is actually supposed to be taking place in around the 1813 mark. And the Regency actually comes from the son of, I think it's King George III, and his name was Prince Regency. And that is when his father was sick and he was very ill. And so the son took over, and that is why they called it the Regency era. And the Regency era actually ran through the, I think it was through 1714 to 1830. So it ran through quite a bit. So in the beginning of the Regency era, when makeup, it was a little bit more harder makeup. It was the very blushy blush, the heavy rouge, the heavy powder, the heavy lips with the red paint, the really deep paint, the white paint, you know, that kind of sort of thing. And then also what was it called? It's called veining, I think is what it's called. The veining trend, where they would actually paint their veins blue because you know, showing a sign of being as light as you are was a sign of, you know, being wealthy. It was a sign of being high up there. If you had any kind of a tan whatsoever, you were considered not worthy whatsoever. So they wanted to be as pale as possible. As the Regency era went on, around the Bridgerton era, around that 1813 mark, 1814 mark, the makeup was very, very natural, because the more makeup you wore, the less you were looked down on, you were looked down upon. So everybody was supposed to be very natural. So this palette has really nothing to do with actually Bridgerton, actually, or that era, because really it was supposed to be very natural, no makeup at all. It was like, you know, you weren't even supposed to any traces of blush or rouge or anything. But they would actually the women would actually, and men would actually pretend that they were a little sick or something to actually be able to put on a little bit of blush or a little bit of rouge, which is stuff that they would actually make up of different types of minerals that they would crush together. Powders like carmine, and they would use, I think it's like alicana root, toxic vermilion. They used even toxic products even on their skin to make the red out of, so that they could use it to crush it. And then they would mix it with salve for the lips and for the face to make it look really sheer, so they would look like they didn't have anything on. But when you were, if you were a young lady, you were supposed to be very, very fair as possible. I mean, fair was really in, as pale as you could possibly be pale. No arm hair, no anything. It was supposed to be very naked. No, none of that. No hair anywhere. It was supposed to be hair except for on your head. If you were a little bit older, it's like you could get by with a little bit more rouge and a little bit more lipstick, because they would be a little bit more set in their ways. But if you were young, that was very, very, that was kind of very down looked upon. So before we go under, I'm going to take a little bit more of this same shade, and I'm going to take a little bit up under here, and we're just going to go up under here, and I'm going to kind of connect it together a little bit. I just want to start adding a little bit here under it, just to kind of smudge my liner a little bit, because I had a little bit up underneath my eye area, and I just want to tap a little bit up underneath it, like what they would have wore at that time period. So this palette doesn't really reflect the naturalness that they were back then at that point. Even in Bridgerton, I read a lot about what they do on the set and stuff. And we're gonna actually I'm gonna go into this shade, by the way, while we're talking. I'm gonna go with that same brush, and we're gonna start building this up a little bit more to make it more impactful. Daphine's makeup that she uses, which is actually used on the actress Phoebe. I forgot what Phoebe's last name is, but she, the young actress that played in the first season, the one that was really, the series was focused around a little bit more, her and the beautiful man that she was with. I can't remember his name. But anyway, her makeup artist said that they do her up really a lot with a lot of skincare. They do like a lot of sheet mask, a lot of really hydrating products. and she uses like really sheer washes of foundation on her, and then they do like a very light blush and a very she's very particular about what she has to put on her. But it's very unique how they kind of do it. But you guys don't seem to understand. Natural is harder than glamour. I mean, the more natural you look, the more harder it is to make it, believe it or not. It doesn't sound like it would be, but it is. So I am taking this out a little bit further, guys, because we're going to go a little bit more outside the brow bone today. We're going there today. We're going to be a little bit more extravagant. Maybe a little bit more of an artistic piece today. We're not really going to do as much of a normal look with it, but that's what I want. I want it to be a little bit more, because this, to me, I just love this palette, and it's so creative. I just feel like a little bit of creativity just got to come out a little bit. So I'm just going to take it and just kind of blend it out a little bit. So when we do our blush, the blush will kind of just blend in with the shadow, which is what I want. So we're just going to take it out there a little bit further today. So we're just going out there with it. So just go with me on this one. May not be what you guys will probably want an all natural kind of every day, but this kind of palette is not an all day, every natural palette. Just going to say, it's really not. Darker shade here, we're going to go into this shade, and I'm going to dip my Refer 03 brush in it. I'm going to dip a little bit of that in it. And we're going to go here in the crease, and we're going to start really deepening that up a little bit and kind of connecting it down through here, kind of connecting it together. So I think that I just wanted to say that that whole thing where they used to make themselves sick just so they could wear blush, to pretend that they were a little ill or feeling a little bad, like, oh, I'm not feeling that great, but I'm a little flushed, just so they could wear that. I think that's so funny. I've watched anything like Pride and Prejudice, or if any of Jane Austen, if you're a Jane Austen fan, you have to let us shout down below. Let me know if you like this, era. Is this something that you enjoy? Do you like Jane Austen as well? Do you just love this time period? Please let me know down below, like what you think, or, how you kind of view it. I mean, a lot of people think it may be kind of boring because it wasn't really a lot, but usually it was just, I guess a lot of people look at it as a very romantic era. Isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. I'm really liking it. So it's turning out really nice. So you guys, for whenever they would want to make their brows or their lashes darker, they would take a burning cork and they would place it under a lit flame and under a plate, and then they would just kind of light it up, and then they would make it like a sooty residue, and then they could mix it with like frankincense, and they could mix it with resin. They also used to take elderberries and use that into their lashes and into their brows too. I've got that done. So now I think we're going to dip back into I think I'm going to dip into the blue next. We're going to go ahead and do that because I want to do it across the lid. Small packing brush. We're going to dip it into this color. This color is everything. Can I tell you? It is so pretty. Oh, that's beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my God, it's stunning. So pretty. Ooh, that is so beautiful. That is so pretty. So now I'm going to take another river brush in 15, and we're going to dip it into that really lighter shade, and we're going to take it and kind of go up over the skin a little bit with that. So kind of brighten that up a little bit. So pretty. That is so pretty. Ooh, it's gorgeous, so beautiful. I love it, it looks so pretty. Yeah. I think I'm gonna stop it for a minute. Isn't this beautiful? It looks so pretty. It turned out so nice. It's like I like just the way that I kind of thought it would be. It looks really beautiful. We just got to go in and do a little bit of the blush to add into it. And it's dramatic, of course, because I'm doing more of a dramatic look with this. But this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something fun with it. I didn't want to do just your typical something. We will go back and do something more every day with this palette, or what you can try to get by with a little bit more every day. But yeah, I just wanted to do something with a little bit more flair, a little bit more dramatic. And just with my anniversary, I was like, I'm going to do what I want to do. So I'm going to go into, I don't have the palette that came with the 2 blushes and the highlighter in it, but I do have the highlighter and I have the Cherish blush. So we're going to be using this. So I'm just going to take the Cherish blush. I'm going to dip my Refer 19 brush in it, and we're going to go in and we're just going to start adding into this area here and start really buffing it out to make it look really bright and punchy. All right through here. And a little bit through here. And down the nose. And really smooth that out. This blush, if you guys don't have Pat MCgrath blush, it's very, very pigmented, and a little bit of it goes a long way, so you don't need much of it. But you can see it's very pigmented, and it does a really beautiful job. So a little bit of it goes a very long way. But I wanted it to be, since we're not doing bronzer, kind of going along the cheekbone, kind of really getting it in there, because I want it to be more all along the side of my face. Then I'm going to take my foundation brush, and we're just going to take it and we're going to buff it down a little bit. That is gorgeous. Wow. That is so pretty. Ooh. Ooh, that is so pretty. Wow, that's gorgeous. Looks beautiful together. History that you would like to talk about, make sure you leave it down below if you know anything about the Regency era, and a little history that you would like to share with us about that. If we have any history buffs that like to talk about any of that stuff, I'd love to hear it. Because, you know, I love learning about new things, and maybe something that maybe I didn't mention. So I'm going to take a little bit of this this Too Femme palette from Too Faced that I did in that I've done to do in a previous video, and I'm going to take a little bit of this and just brush it lightly over top of this, just to give it a little bit more of a glow. So it just looks really pretty and fleshy and radiant. It's gorgeous together with Pat's blush. And I'm going to take just a little bit, since it was in the collection, I have the Golden Nectar. So I'm going to take a little bit of Golden Nectar, and we're going to take a little bit of a highlight, and I'm going to take my Refer brush. I'm going to take a little bit in here, and we're just going to add a little bit extra highlight right here, and here, here. Right there. This highlighter is so beautiful. If you bought the collection and you got this highlighter in your kit, you were gonna love it, because it's amazing. It's a beautiful highlighter. But look how beautiful that is. Oh my God, that is so pretty. That is really stunning. I did a little pat lip liner in the shade Buff, and I just kind of buffed it into my lips like this, and I took it with my finger. I am going to take the Rare Beauty. It's the Rare Beauty. This is in the shade Lucky. And I'm going to take a little bit of Lucky, and I'm going to, on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take it with my finger, and I'm just going to stamp it right over the lip a little bit and kind of give it a little bit of a matte. And I saw on I think it's a TikTok video or something that these blushes using as lipstick, and oh my god, they work so good as a lipstick. You see, it's just giving this really beautiful pinky palette. This would have been back in the day. We would have been considered a little hoey and not so glowy. We would have been a little hoey. You gotta love that fleshy lip going on. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of Pat Blue Astral Flower lip gloss, and I'm gonna place that right over the top of it. Oh, that's so pretty. I saw her do that on Instagram on a model, and it's just so beautiful. It's such a beautiful, beautiful look. What do you guys think? So now we have to do one last thing. I have a natural little mole right here. It's right there. And I know that in that time and century, they actually used to take little pieces of silk and they would cut them out and actually place them on areas where they would have little burns, or if they had any kind of scarring or anything left over from any kind of smallpox or anything, they would actually put it on their little areas to cover it up. So that's where they would get the little mark from, but they would take little pieces of silk and cut them up and then put them on their skin. So we're gonna take a little bit of my Huda Beauty Lifeliner. I'm gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit right here where my mole is. And there we have it. We have our little mole. This palette is really beautiful. It just really symbolizes a lot of Bridgerton. Unfortunately, it's a little bit more on the dramatic side. You know, I don't know if it would be a really good palette for you to use every day, but you could get some use out of it definitely with these two colors, maybe a little pop of the pink. This one's really light. I'm sorry, I didn't even take off the plastic yet, so right. But yeah, it's like it's not a typical everyday palette, but it is a really beautiful palette that you can use and kind of mix in with some of your other Pat McGrath, or if you want to just pick it up for like a keepsake. Now, I do know that on her site, she is out of this right now. It is like out of stock right now. It's not up as well with the highlighters, the blush trio, all of those, but I have a feeling she's going to fill it back up again. When something sells like this, she always brings it back. So I will keep you guys posted on YouTube here on my community post and let you guys know that if it does pop back up again, that if you want to go pick it up, it will, when it will be available again. But it is a really super beautiful palette. The packaging is just stunning. I mean, this shade here, I love this shade. I mean, if you can't tell, I mean, that's like one of my favorite shades. This one I absolutely love. It was beautiful. This one is really pretty. It's a very pretty one. This one's actually really pretty too. And I actually really did enjoy the plum shade. I did enjoy it. It's a really beautiful, soft plum shade. So I really like this palette. It's a really good palette. I will do more of a natural look with this palette in another video or something a little bit not so dramatic as this, so you guys can see something a little bit more subtle. But I wanted to do something fun with it today. It's just so beautiful. And the Astral Blue Moon Flower, oh my God, this gloss, guys, look how beautiful. It's just so pretty. I'm gonna take a little bit on my thumb here, so I don't get it on my sleeve, but look how beautiful that is. It's so pretty. I just want to keep putting it on. It's so beautiful. But it looked really good over that Lucky Kiss. It turned out so pretty. So I really do like it. Of course, I already had the blush, so the blush is fantastic. If you guys have picked up the palette with the two blushes and the highlighter in it, it's amazing. You can't go wrong with Pat's blushes. But I already had Cherish, and then I had Electric Moon, and then I didn't really want the lighter one because I just like more punchy blushes. But all in all, it is a really super beautiful palette. Everything turned out really super beautiful. My skin looks really pretty. Everything turned out really nice. I can't even describe how happy I am. And, you know, and again, thank you guys so much for all your support and your love and being here for me and supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. And you watching, that means the world to me. It really, really does. And if you've clicked on my links and stuff, I really do appreciate that. That really means a lot as well. You know, but with that said, guys, I think that's it. There's not a lot more with this collection. That's all I got, but I hope you enjoyed it. It's just more of a fun video than anything. It wasn't really anything for you to really follow or whatever, but I hope you enjoyed it. You know, remember, be safe, be strong, be proud, stand tall, love yourself, and remember, most of all, you know, be kind to someone today. A little kindness can go off a long way. And you know, make sure you reach out to somebody and tell them that you love them today, because, I mean, a little bit of love can go off a long way. And, you know, with my lace sleeves and my big fluffy shirt here, you know, I wish you guys to have a wonderful, beautiful, safe, and happy day. And until next time, and until the next Bridgerton episode, which is going to be in March, so get excited if you watch the show. You know, leave it up to Shonda to come up with a really awesome show. You know, take care and peace out, and we will see you again in the next episode. Bye.